Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Yeah, 6714, guys. 615. Where is this? Spring Boot MVC. Yesterday we started some other discussion, but somehow yeah, 9.0.43. Okay, let's try with that version. 9.0.43 is version is working for both without having any issues. Right, boss. Dispatcher servlet registration internals. Let me save this document first. Yeah, dispatcher servlet registration. Okay, I'll change the chain. Dispatcher servlet registration. Okay, registration. Yeah, third, guys. March 3rd. See, guys, sometimes close all editors. Okay, let me try that once. Pom.xml, guys. Pom.xml. Let's change Java version to 1.8. Let's take Java version to 1.8, guys. Because with the Java 11, some issues are coming. Maven update was anyhow. Maven update, guys. Okay. Right now, no version is kept. No version is kept. No comments are done. No comments are done. Servlet initializer also we enable, guys. We seriously enable. Servlet initializer also we seriously enable. Okay, fine. Right click, run as Spring Boot application. Now I am running it as a standalone application. Now I am running it as a standalone application, guys. Done. Open the browser, boss. HTTP localhost 4040. Tell me, boot MVC boost MVC first app/home. Is not correct? Is it not correct? Help me. What is that? /home is right. First boot MVC app. Okay, got it. First boot MVC app. It's coming as a standalone application. It's coming, guys. Cool. Now what we have to see is as a normal deployable web application, it's coming or not, because we have an issue with that only, right? Run on server, guys. Say next, guys. Say finish. Okay, guys. First app/home. No. Same problem. Same problem. I think issue in my IDE, boss. Issue is there with my IDE. Now I can say confidently. Issue is there with my IDE. Okay. So you try at home. Maximum you won't get any issues. You try at home. No, URL is not the issue, boss. Yeah, for external Jasper is not required, but you should not have any disturbance while working with you should not have any disturbance while working with this one, boss, or some IDE level my settings got disturbed. IDE level my settings got disturbed, and if I comment it will work, Babu, I know that. If I comment, okay. No, that is not an issue, boss. Okay, show view. Where is this? Servers. Is there any servers option? Yes. Double click on Tomcat. HTTP port number. HTTP admin port number to 1. No, I don't think this will work out, guys. No, STS can be used, but not an issue. 1 minute, let me try. Give me 2 minutes time. Done. Yes. Run on server, guys. Say next. Say finish. Run on server, guys. Say next. Say finish. No, there's no need of adding any scope, guys. There's no necessity of adding any scope. What is there? Home. Yes, we are getting class not found exception. Yeah, I think some disturbance in my IDE, boss. I can say. One last attempt, guys. No need of changing Tomcat server port number, boss. No need of changing this. I just tried 9090 kind of thing. Done. Stop it. Save this. Go to this place. Embedded Jasper, guys. Let me try one last time. Version 9.0.43. 9.0.43. .0.43, and we'll add scope as provided. Don't arrange, try to collect from the outside. Okay, no. Sorry, for external application, correct path only. Open declaration managed version, boss. Okay, Tomcat version is coming dynamically. Give me 2 minutes time. Version 9.0. Just a minute. Why warning has to come? Okay. mvnrepository.com. Today's class is going to be very interesting. Once this is over, guys. Once this is over. mvnrepository.com. Tomcat embedded Jasper. Yes. 9.0.43. 9.0.43 is there. Right. Let's see what we can do now. Right click, Run on. Anyhow, it's running as standalone application, boss. Say next, save finish. Home. Yeah, it's working, guys. 9043 is not giving any problem. 9043 is not giving any problem. Next, run as standalone Spring Boot application. Same application I am trying to run as standalone application, guys. Yeah, right, boss. Tell me what is there. http://4041 first home. It's coming. See, it is a normal web application. It is as this one. It has this one. And one more thing, I think scope is required. I don't think scope is required. Stop both. Scope is also optional, boss. Let me try both angles one more time. Version class. Yeah. Run on server, my dear. Actually, any version it should not give problem, but somehow issue is there. That's why we are talking now. Home. What's happening? Oh, right. Provide. See, when it is taking explicitly from you, it's giving error. 1 minute. I don't give version also. I'll just give scope. Wait. I'll just give scope provided. Don't take collect. Don't take collect. Version also I don't bother. I'll give final conclusion. Wait a minute. We are towards final conclusion, guys. Provided means don't get from repository, collect from server itself. Spring Boot application, guys. Standalone application. Come on. Here is there. Standalone application. Localhost 4041. First boot application MVC. As a standalone, it's running, boss. As a standalone application, it's running. 1 minute. Right click. Run on server. Say next. Save finish. Say next. Save finish. Here also I am typing home. It's coming. It's not coming from buffer. Clear? So don't worry about the version. Tell to jar file. Don't try to arrange from repository. Your underlying server provides, you take it. You collect from underlying server. Provided means underlying environment provides the server. Provided means underlying server provides the server. Got it, guys? Okay. Super, guys. How do you get the port number of embedded server? Embedded server default port number is 8080. I change it to 4041. Dirty fellow. Attend classes every day, Mr. Kishore. Okay. Tell me. Yeah. What is the change, guys? Okay. I think in yesterday's document, I have to do change. Okay. Otherwise, leave it. Yesterday's document is already uploaded, right? Okay. Now I will give as a fresh document, fresh statement. I will give it as a fresh statement. To make Spring Boot MVC application working as standalone, standalone web application, deployable web application. Okay, deployable application. we need to place the following tag. We need to place following tag in pom.xml as a dependency representing Tomcat Jasper. As a dependency representing Tomcat Jasper, guys. Super. Tell me here, what is the story, boss? The story is this. Come to this place. This is what version it will decide dynamically. Yes, this is mandatory. Scope is mandatory. Generally, we forget, guys, mandatory. Mandatory. Yeah. Provided indicates what, guys? Indicates what, guys? Indicates the underlying runtime environment. The underlying runtime environment or server or JRE. Okay, fine. Our server or container provides the jar. Provides the jar file. No need of collecting from a repository. Okay, repository. No, I know that. This leads to one more discussion. Sir, what are the scopes of Maven dependencies? Right. Scopes in Maven dependencies. Scopes in Maven dependency. What are the various scopes in Maven dependency? Understanding my statement? Okay. You just press. Yeah, these are the scopes, guys. These are the scopes. Can you tell me what are the possible scopes, guys? These are the scopes. These are the possible scopes, guys. Yes. Done. Okay, here I will place provided anyhow. Don't take the pain of remembering something, guys. Yeah, dependency is available only during compilation of source code. Dependency is available only during the compilation of source code. During the compilation of source code. Of source code. Next, provided. Refer above. I don't want to waste my time. Yes, guys. Dependency is available only during the execution of the application. Execution of the compiled code. What code, guys? Compiled code. Yes, boss. Next. Collect the dependency. Collect the dependency from the specified location of the system. From the specified location of the system. Yeah, tell me. Dependency is available during the available during the test cases compilation and execution. Compilation and execution. Right. And if you don't mention anything, default is default is no default, guys. Default, it will be there in compile time and runtime both, guys. Okay, understanding my statement? Okay. If no scope is specified, if no scope is specified, the dependency means what? Jarra Babu. The dependency is available during compilation comma execution of source code and test cases code. Source code and test cases code. So that's the reason generally we never get a requirement of keeping scopes, guys. DispatcherServletRegistration internals, guys. Okay, internals. Fine. Okay. Yeah, tell me, guys. DispatcherServlet is predefined. I don't want to entertain XML file. It is a Spring Boot application. Spring Boot eliminate XML. Then what is the approach I should think about registering DispatcherServlet, guys? What is the approach I should use? Come on. DispatcherServlet. Not having any scope is the best scope. Then jar is available in multiple places. Programmatic approach. What approach? Programmatic. While learning Servlet, what approaches we followed? Declarative, annotation. But as a knowledge, we learned one example on programmatic. But Spring Boot MVC every time uses what approach, guys? Spring Boot MVC internally uses every time what approach? Internally every time uses what approach, my dear? Internally every time uses what approach, my dear? I want reply. Programmatic approach, not the declarate. Because DispatcherServlet is ready-made, but we cannot add annotation. Why? Can we have annotations? Can we edit the source code of predefined class? No. And unfortunately, predefined DispatcherServlet is not having @webservlet annotation. You want to check that? Control plus Shift plus T. Control plus Shift plus T. What is the one I am looking for? DispatcherServlet. This is the source code. Tell me. Is there any annotation on the top of it, guys? Is there any annotation on the top of it? No. That means it is not configured with annotation. Can we configure by adding entries in web.xml in Spring Boot application? No. Why? Why, my dear? Come on. Because no XML is allowed. Now what is left? Programmatic approach is left, right? Okay. Dynamic registration of DispatcherServlet component. Okay. In programmatic approach, with respect to Spring Web MVC application. With respect to what application, guys? Spring Web MVC application. with respect to Spring MVC application. Yes, guys. Okay. First of all, how many of you watched that video where I have explained dynamic registration of servlet? If you watch, you will enjoy today's session. If you don't watch, it will be a bit hard. You got a chance to see twice, chance to spend the time yesterday also. I hope everyone watched it and benefited from that. Okay. Tell me, according to that video, one special file will be there, right? In that file, class will be there. That class contains what? Logic to register servlet with servlet container by calling servlet context dot add servlet method, right? By calling servlet context dot add servlet method. Remember, initializer class ra babu. One special initializer class. Remember that? Okay. Dynamic servlet registration, programming servlet registration, all are one and the same, boss. Done. With respect to Spring MVC web application. First of all, here is my Spring web okay, version.jar. Spring web version.jar. Let me open that jar file, guys. Observe what is there in that jar file. Okay, please, I'll frame the story at the end. First, I'm trying to present something, you take it as it is. I will link the things story. Spring web version.jar. There is meta-nf folder. Yes. In that services folder, in that javax.servlet container initializer file. javax.servlet container initializer file. It is not interface, it's a file name. Are you realizing, boss? Okay. There is a file. Tell me. This is, how many of you knows? Automatic registration of type 4 JDBC driver. If you add the jar, inside the jar, one file is there. From that file, automatically JDBC driver class is loaded, right? Remember that? Yeah, something similar to that. From the jar file only special class will be there. That class will be loaded. And in that class, logic is there to register driver with the driver manager service. Same, similar concept, guys. Meta-INF. Under meta-INF, what is the file? javax.servlet initializer file. javax.servlet initialize. I think meta-INF under this services folder. Services folder. Cool, guys. Servlet initializer. This is the file, boss. Copy this, my dear. Say paste. org.springframework.web.spring servlet container initializer. Oh, your file name is servlet container initializer file. Right, this file is there. Okay, guys. Now let me open that file, boss. Let me open that file. Control plus Shift plus F. Control plus shift plus T. What is the next one? Spring servlet container initializer. Spring servlet container initializer. It is implementing what, guys? Servlet container initializer. File name is that, interface name is also same. Yeah, here is my Java X dot servlet container initializer. Servlet container initializer. It is an interface. What is the class name, guys? Here is the class name. What is the relationship between both, guys? What is the relationship between both, guys? This is my class. This is the class. Tell me here, what is there? Implements. What is the relationship? Implements. Okay, servlet container initializer was. After that, what next? Next, one more angle, guys. We are also getting one initializer, guys. Don't forget, we are also getting one initializer. 1 minute. By default, servlet initializer, which is a class extending from Spring Boot initializer, Spring Boot servlet initializer, and that is implementing what? Web application initializer. That is extending from web application initializer, right? Web application initializer. Are you getting my point? So let's keep this hierarchy in mind. Yeah, what is that? com.nt. Servlet initializer, which is a class. ID generated class. ID generated class. ID generated class having ID generated class having supporting logics for on deployment registrations, on deployment configurations, on deployment configuration. Yeah, now this is that class is extending from what, guys? Spring Boot initializer. What is the package of Spring Boot initializer? This is the package, guys. Wait, I will link the story. Don't worry. Tell me. Spring Boot to servlet initializer. Am I right? Spring Boot to servlet initializer. Yes, boss. Spring Boot to servlet initializer. Servlet initializer. What is that class, guys? If I am not wrong, that is an abstract class. Am I right? That is an abstract class. That is implementing what, guys? Web application initializer, which belongs to which package? Okay, org.web.sf.web. Okay, here is the story. What is this? Web application initializer. This is an interface. This is an interface, guys. Done. Okay. Yes. What is the relationship, guys? What is the relationship? Implements. No, extends. Class na extends. Done. What's the relationship? Implements. Done. Okay. Shall we go for procedure, guys? These are the available thing. We have a file. This is the relationship. All this stuff. This is the relationship. All this stuff, guys. Come on. So indirectly, servlet initializer is implementing this interface or not? Super. Okay. Now listen. In this Spring Servlet container initializer, see the documentation of that. Spring Servlet container initializer doc. Spring Servlet container initializer docs. Please don't come to one conclusion. I will put the beautiful story. It's like Rahman music. Rahman music, while recording, if you listen, you will get mental. While making movie, if you watch Rajamouli making movie, you will get mental. Here some portion, here some portion, here some portion. At the end, he mixes. Then maza will come, right? Making process is very horrible when you see the final mixing. Right, boss? Relationship to Spring Web Application Initializer, guys. Here we have a on startup method. In this on startup method, please observe, guys, what this will do. Delegates servlet context to any web application initializer implementation present on the class path. Implementation present on the class path. Are you getting my point here, guys? That means in the current project, where exactly web application initializer class is there, implementation class is there, it takes that class, loads that class. Okay, there something will happen. Come on. Okay, observe in our project, in every web application, guys, servlet initializer is indirectly implementing this what? Web application initializer interface or not? Web application initializer interface or not? Come on. Right, guys. Right, boss. Yeah, that means in our project we are having it. Come on. Super. Dynamic registration of dispatcher servlet component in programmatic approach. Yes, guys. Now let's go for deployment of Spring MVC, Spring Boot MVC web application as web application in external server. No, not as embedded Tomcat. Embedded Tomcat, different story. Okay. In external application, external server like Tomcat. It's not embedded one, it's a external. Okay. Dispatcher servlet with respect to Spring MVC application running in external server. Yeah, with respect to running in external server. in external server like Tomcat, boss. Super cool. After that, what next, guys? Deployment is done. Servlet container verifies the deployment directory structure. Verifies the deployment directory structure. And notices that there is no web.xml file. Notices that there is no web.xml file in the web application. Okay, next, guys. Since servlet container is 3.0 plus, it looks for javax.servlet container initializer file in all the jar files that are kept in webinf/lib folder. In all the jar files that are kept in what? webinf/lib folder of but finds in tell me, guys, javax dot finds in, come on, spring-web version jar file. Okay, guys, loads that file and collects that file content. Come on. What is the content of the file, guys? Okay, file content. File content class, guys. Okay, this is the class, right? This is the class name now, boss. This is the class name. Okay, next. Servlet container loads, not this, Rababu, not this class. Loads the class, comma, creates the object. What is there in that? Creates the object and calls. Okay. Here one small thing happened, boss. Okay, after these two steps, during the deployment of web application, servlet context object will be created or not? Servlet container creates servlet context object. Yes, guys. What is that? Creates and calls what, guys? And calls what? On startup method. On that object having servlet context object. Come on. Having servlet context object. Rajkumar Yadav, where are you? meta-inf folder, dirty fellow. It will search in webinf lab folder from this jar file, it gets it. From this jar file it gets, it means from this location only it will get, right? Dirty fellow. Where this jar file is available? Out of sync person. Having servlet context object. Come on. And some empty collection object. Empty set collection object. Empty set collection object. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Don't come to one conclusion. Where is that? Spring servlet container initializer class. Okay. Here we are having what? On startup method. Look at the documentation. On startup method. Set comma servlet context object. Yes or no? Na? Set comma servlet context object. Come on, guys. Right. What this method is doing? Delegate servlet context object to any web application initializer implementation present on the class path. Present on the class path. Tell me, guys. On startup method of Spring Servlet container initializer class. Spring Servlet container initializer class. Come on. Spring Servlet container initializer class. On startup method of Spring Servlet container initializer class. Tell me what it will do. Searches for web application initializer interface implementation class that is present in our web application. In our current web application. Come on, guys. In our current web application. That is what, guys? That is servlet initializer class, guys. Servlet initializer class. Come on. I hope you got the clarity, boss. See what the documentation says. Delegate servlet context object to web application initializer implementation present on the application's class path. In our application, we have servlet initializer extending from Spring Boot servlet initializer. This is implementing web application initializer. Come on, my dear. Yes or no? So indirectly servlet initializer class is found or not? Okay. Tell me, guys. Then it loads that class, creates the object. Come on. Then it loads the class, creates the object for that class and calls on startup method having just servlet context object. On startup method having just servlet context object. Tell me, guys, in servlet initializer class, on startup is there? On startup is there, my dear? Not there. When not there, what happens, my dear? When not there, what happens, my dear? Come on, tell me. it will search in superclass. Array B respond, Babu respond. Searches in superclass, right? Okay, let's go to superclass. In superclass, search for on startup method. There are not there are. Yes, there. See, guys, here logic is there to create IOC container. Here logic is there to create IOC container. What do you say, guys? And here logic is there to do something else. And if you see details of this method, guys, if you see details of this method, one or other place logic will be there, dispatcher servlet registration. Logic will be there having dispatcher servlet registration. Okay, look at the source code of this. Yes, in the source code of this, if you spend time, there will be logic. See, annotation config servlet web server application context is there na boss. Application server context is there na boss. Okay, so lot of things will happen, boss. Parent, this one, servlet context initializer, web environment. Okay, if you search here and there, somewhere you will see dispatcher servlet creation, dispatcher servlet object creation, and calling calling add servlet method also. Calling add servlet method also. Okay, let me search for, but you have to go to details of each class, guys. Each method. Dispatcher servlet. Not there. Okay, that means we have to go for get existing root context now, boss. F3. And if you go further, guys, somewhere you will find logic to register logic to register dispatcher servlet. That's why what I do, guys, having a servlet context object. Superclass servlet context object. What is that, guys? Okay, superclass servlet context object. Since not available. Achha, 1 minute. Yeah, since not available in what is that? Servlet initializer class. Initializer class. The superclass. What is the superclass, guys? The superclass, nothing but Spring Boot servlet initializer class. Spring Boot servlet initializer class on startup method executes. Execute. And this on startup method contains the following logics. This on startup method contains the following logics, guys. Tell me, what are the logics, guys? Yeah. Contains the following logics, guys. Yeah, tell me, what are the following logics, guys? IOC container creation by taking, come on. Okay. IOC container creation by taking our main class, nothing but Spring Boot application class as the configuration class, as the configuration class. Array, did you realize why servlet initializer is having boot MVC class here? Application dot sources. Application dot sources. Okay. It is adding a certain classes as what? Certain classes as what? Configuration classes, guys. Certain classes as what? Configuration classes. Got the point, guys? Next, B. Dispatcher servlet. Dispatcher servlet object creation and registering that object with servlet container. Registering that object with servlet container using servlet context object. Using servlet context object. Come on, guys. sc dot add servlet. What dot, guys? sc dot using servlet context by calling sc dot add servlet method. Okay, and enabling the load on startup. Come on, and enabling the load on startup by calling. Tell me, guys. Set load on startup. Everything happens. Ads are 1 minute. Having URL pattern slash. Having URL pattern slash and and enabling load on startup by calling set load on startup. Method by calling set load on startup method. I hope you convinced it, guys. Now you got crystal clear clarity how dispatcher servlet is registered. How dispatcher servlet is registered. You got crystal clear clarity. I bet no one knows in the industry. 10 years experience guy who have built big projects in Spring Boot MVC also don't know this. They know only one thing. As Spring Boot will take care, why we should bother? We should bother when you want to make yourself different from others. When you want to make yourself different from others, you should bother. Okay, now you realize why I asked you to watch dynamic registration of servlet. See, in dynamic registration of servlet, I should create a jar file. I should create a file. I should keep that file in a jar file. I should keep that jar file in web.inf/lib folder. Yes, but such work is already done by Spring people. So that burden on you will be completely reduced or not. You need not to do registration of dispatcher servlet. That's the reason we are getting the feeling Spring Boot is taking care of everything. Come on. That's the reason we are getting the feeling Spring Boot is taking care of everything. I hope you got the clarity, boss. Enjoyed or not? Got the clarity or not? Right, boss. Last time revision, guys. Last time revision. Array, for standalone, different story. This is only for deployable application. This story only for deployable application. Clear? Yes, boss. Tell me next one. Deployment of Spring Boot MVC web application in external server like Tomcat. Clear on the first point? Say yes. Then I'll move to next point. Servlet container verifies deployment directory structure, notices that there is no web.xml in the web application. Cool. Any problem in this point? No problem at all. Next, servlet container creates servlet context object. Any problem in this point, guys? As part of flow of execution, servlet context object will be created automatically in the deployment of the web application or not? Simply in the deployment of the web application or not? Come on. Next, since servlet container is 3.0 place, it looks for, this one I have to highlight. It looks for file in all the jar file that are kept in web-inf/lib folder, but finds in spring-web-version.jar file. Loads that file, collects that file content nothing but this class. Nothing but this class name. Next, servlet container loads what class, guys? This class. Create objects and calls on startup method on the object having servlet context object and empty set collection objects as the arguments. As the arguments. As the arguments. Next, on startup method of Spring Servlet container initializer class searches for. Come on. This class, predefined class, guys. Searches for web application initializer implementation class that is present in our current web application, that is nothing but servlet initializer class. What, guys? Servlet initializer class. To be more specific, com.nt.servlet initializer class. Then it loads that class, creates object for that class, and calls on startup method having servlet context object. On startup method having servlet context object. Since not available in servlet initializer class, the super class on startup method executes. Okay, guys. This on startup method contains following logics. What logics, guys? These are the logics. Tell me. IOC container creation by taking what? Our main class, Spring Boot application class as the configuration class. Cool, guys. Dispatcher servlet object creation, boss. What object creation, guys? Dispatcher servlet object creation, boss. Okay. Right, guys. Then creating dispatch servlet object, resisting with servlet container programmatically by calling which method? Add servlet method having URL pattern / and enabling load on startup by calling set enable load on startup, guys. I think you got the thorough knowledge about this. You got some satisfaction. You learned something great today. Okay. What happens in standalone environment? That's a different ball game. In standalone environment, not only dispatcher servlet registration, guys. First server has to be created. Inside that container has to be created. Then remaining story. Then remaining story will take place. That's a different ball game. This is only when you deploy as a normal web application. Come on, come on. If you run as a standalone application, more things will come into picture. After all, server has to be created dynamically. I think you liked it. You got the clarity, boss. Okay. Keep this in mind. Okay, tomorrow onwards, for a few days again, we will do programming. We will do programming, boss. Okay, you want to see that add servlet code? 1 minute. Dispatcher servlet auto configuration. Control plus shift plus T. Dispatcher servlet auto configuration. Dispatcher servlet auto configuration. Okay, let's see, guys. Let's see. There should be add servlet method. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Dispatcher servlet registration be new dispatcher servlet, guys. Okay, if you look at that. Okay, super dot servlet. Super dot add mapping, get servlet mapping. Yeah, everything is there here. Check it out. Here you can see those methods also. Okay. Super dot add mapping is there. Add mapping is there. It is getting all this stuff. Look at the super class code. Through all this stuff, servlet registration, everything. But come back to this. So here, dispatcher servlet creation is happening. Name is adding. Load on startup is happening. Did you notice that? Load on startup is happening. Did you notice that? What theory I said, it is happening over here or not? Right, boss. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Kundan Kumar, I said embedded Tomcat. Embedded Tomcat is not coming. Embedded Tomcat by default not activating. External Tomcat contain Jasper. I hope you got your doubt. Fine. Session is over, guys. Tomorrow again we will go back to programming. Second application we try to develop. Thank you. Have a nice time.